David for a decade, and I've been a client of Charlton House for 5 years. And David, Tat and Brendan there look after me and my family very well. So I originally knew David as a client, and our family relocated from Hong Kong to Bristol, and I needed help with financial advice and also a bit of tax planning. And David, I knew would be the perfect person to fulfil that role. My concerns about our move from Hong Kong to Bristol were to make sure that we were financially secure when we arrived in Bristol, and that we did as much sensible tax planning as we could about that relocation. I'd known David for about 10 years, and I'd previously worked as his legal advisor on a matter, and I've been very impressed with David's attention to detail, the care he'd shown for his clients, and his knowledge, and so it was an obvious choice for us to go back to David when we moved. From the very early stages, one of the things that David impressed on me and I enjoy about Charlton House is their fee structure. They don't take any commissions, they're completely untied, and they're very transparent about the fee that they charge. Charlton House have been very, very helpful for us. One obvious example is when we'd raised our budget for the house that we now live in Bristol. We spent the best part of a year looking for that house, and they were able to invest that money on a term deposit that led to a very handsome return for us. So I enjoy working with everyone at Charlton House. They're genuinely nice people. It's good to spend time with them, even if we're talking about stuff that sometimes be a bit dry. They're articulate, clear, and very responsive. I feel quite good about our financial future. We've got a high degree of clarity about what the projection is for us in terms of both income and expenditure, and the decisions we'll need to make about where we live and how we educate our children. So they've been very clear about what our journey is likely to be. If I had to use 3 words to describe Charlton House, they would be responsive, articulate, and caring. The best thing I found about working with Charlton House is their availability. When I was in Hong Kong, Tat would regularly come and visit me to talk about what we needed to do for transition to come to Bristol. David's always free on the phone, Brendan's great as well, and they come back with responses very quickly. With Charlton House, we get regular review meetings, but even in between those, David, Tat and Brendan are constantly available, and no question is too small for them to deal with pretty promptly and quite clearly. So there's almost a continuous supply of information when we need to have it. I think the best piece of advice that we've had from Charlton House has been David's solid reassurance that we've actually probably got enough money to do what we want to do. One of the things I really enjoyed about working with Charlton House is that Tat goes out of his way to make things as easy as possible, and that includes, entirely unsolicited, just saying, I'll pop around with the forms and you can just read through them and sign them off there. No need to print them off. Makes my life very easy. I wouldn't have any hesitation in recommending Charlton House to David and Brendan and Tat to anyone that was going through the process that we went, which was a move from Hong Kong to the UK. They've been absolutely top notch.